Hey, I can't get up with my alarm in the mornings. Do you have any advice for that? Of course, you should be more disciplined and you'll be able to get up every single morning, no problem. So I still can't kind of get up in the mornings and I'm not really motivated right now to do much more. Do you have any advice for that? Yeah, I understand. And you should be even more disciplined. More discipline will fix everything. I tried discipline, but I can't get it right, and I feel like I'm never disciplined enough, and I don't have any motivation to do anything. I don't know what to do. Give me something more specific. Disciplined! Be more disciplined! Discipline! Discipline! Be more disciplined is the favorite advice of the internet right now. But it's not great advice, is it? When you receive that advice, you're expected to know what that means. And what does that even mean? Different people mean a ton of different things when it comes to discipline. And yeah, understanding you is a big part of helping you, but I'll try to give you a framework that can help you in the different stages of success. And because you have 3 separate stages, you can pick and choose which phase feels closest to you and work on that level. And when you feel like you've mastered that level, you can move to the next one and then to the next one. Before getting into detail, I'll go through those very quickly. Level 1 is believing in yourself. And I promise this is not going to be the same cliche you've heard everywhere. Level 2 is doing more of what works, saying no to everything else. And level 3 is gaining more leverage. Let's start with believing in yourself and the different techniques that work. Let's go! Level 1, believe in yourself. When it comes to personal development, when it comes to learning, the biggest challenge at the very beginning is belief. If you happen to be in the wrong situation at the wrong time, if everyone you know had the exact same experience, it is very difficult to change your life. And this is not because you can't do that, it's because the environment around you is a massive obstacle for you to succeed. By living in that environment for a long time, you start believing that there is nothing you can do. You're the victim of this environment, nothing good will ever happen to you. That might be true or it might be false, but believing in that is never a good idea. When you believe in that, you close the door to progress. You cannot progress if you don't believe you can progress. The obvious solution is believe in yourself. Easy, right? Let's take a step back from the actual advice and explain what that really is. This belief in psychology is called a locus of control. If you believe that the environment around you is controlling your future, then you have an external locus of control. Your belief of what controls you lies outside of you. And if you have an internal locus of control, you believe that you are in control of your life and your future. The goal of this exercise is to build an internal locus of control so you believe that you can change. How do you do that? There is a common advice by Jordan Peterson that says make your bed. And no, that doesn't mean make your actual bed. When you think about making your bed, that means improve the environment around you. You have probably wanted to snap your fingers and every single problem in your life to disappear in a day or in a week. But that's not how life works now, is it? So the first step is take action to change the things that you don't like. For example, if you don't like your bed being messy, make your bed. If you don't like the dishes being messy, wash the dishes. If you don't like your house to be messy, clean your house. Clean your room, put some order in your life, organize your computer's desktop if you have to. You can do all kinds of different things to change the world around you for the better. By doing this, you're communicating to your subconscious mind,
hey, I can do this. The environment sucks, but this and this bit in the environment, I changed.
I put effort into them and they are now different.
My bed was a mess, now it's not a mess. The dishes were dirty, now they're not dirty. My home was a mess for 2 years, now it's clean and nice and tidy.
Those are very simple actions, but they can have a massive effect on your self-belief, and that's why you should do them. Find what those actions are, at home, at work, with your family, doesn't matter, and do them. The more you do them, the more you start changing your mind about how the world can be changed. And the more you believe in yourself, the better you will be at changing the world. But this is just the first step of believing in yourself. The second step is changing your self-talk. You have this being inside of you. You're not the only person living in your head. Maybe there's more of you. Or is that just me? When it comes to your head, think of it as a rider and an elephant. The elephant is a wise creature. It knows what to do, it has a lot of knowledge, and it can go in whichever direction it desires to. And you have the rider, that's you. So when it comes to guiding your elephant, your subconscious mind, you shouldn't guide it in the wrong direction. If you're saying to yourself, I suck, my life sucks, my job sucks, my friends hate me, everyone hates me, then you're telling your elephant, I want to suck, I want my life to suck, I want my job to suck, I want my friends to hate me, I want everyone to hate me. And your elephant, being the wise, great animal it is, tries to go in that direction. It tries to help you out. Your brain is helpful. Your elephant is super helpful and it does its best. But you gave the wrong direction. Instead of communicating what you want, you communicated what you hate. So you are subconsciously moving towards the direction that you hate. That is not great. Change the way you talk to yourself. Instead of saying, I suck, say, I'm learning. Instead of saying, everyone hates me, say, I'm building better relationships. Find people who appreciate you, please. I appreciate you. You're awesome. If people around you don't tell you that, find better people. By changing how you frame your thoughts, you're telling your elephant to go in a completely different direction, a direction that you actually want to go toward. How do you do that? That happens, one, by catching yourself in the act and saying,
Hey, I don't want to think that.
and you think the other thought, but it is very difficult to do at the beginning. So you set reminders. How do you set reminders? Write it on the wallpaper of your phone. Write it on the desktop. Write it on a sticky note and stick it to your desk. You want to see that message, see that new idea every single day, 10, 20, 50 times. The more times you see it, the more you start resonating with it. And finally, the first step towards believing in yourself is building some good habits. Now, delving deep into habits is kind of difficult to do in this one video, but I'll give you a simple way you can get started. Take some old habit. For example, every single morning you go and open the fridge, you brush your teeth, you go to the bathroom, you do a lot of things in your day-to-day. Because you do a lot of things, you can attach other things to them. And by attaching those other things, you do them both. Here's how this works. Habits have 3 steps. You have a trigger, what makes you do the action. For example, it's lunchtime and you're hungry. Next, you have the action. So in this example, you eat. Step number 3 is you get a reward. You get dopamine, you feel better because you're full and so on. The same thing can be triggered by smells, by thoughts, by emotions, pretty much anything. You have a bunch of those habits built in across your day. The thing that you want to do is attach the new things you want to do to them. For example, every time I go to the bathroom, after I wash my hands and leave, I'll draw for 2 minutes. I keep a small notebook next to the door of my bathroom, I pick it up, I draw something real quick and I leave. And that doesn't seem like much, but after 2 months I've drawn over 150 times and I'm significantly better at it. You need some practice as well. You can't just do them for a day and then bam, you believe in yourself and everything is amazing. You need to do them and try and find your way and struggle a bit. It is not something that would happen in a day. If you already have the deep belief that the environment controls you, it will take some time to change. That's fine. And if you need some help, come ping me on the Discord and I will do my best to help. That brings us to the second level of success. The second level of success is doing more. The more of the stuff that works and less of the stuff that doesn't work. Most people are operating in this space, or most people want to operate in this space, because I've seen a lot of people thinking that they are in this space, but they are actually in the first level. Now, in this space, discipline can be applicable. And by discipline, self-discipline specifically, I mean forcing you to do what you have to do no matter how you feel. This can be a useful tool here. It's not a useful tool in the first level and it's not a useful tool in the last level, but it can be a useful tool here. Besides discipline, how do you do more? There are other ways you can do that as well. First of all is leaning into your habits, increasing the duration of your habits, increasing the regularity of your habits, and making chains of different habits. Once you chain a bunch of habits and once you can do them for a while, you can put a significant amount of time and energy towards something. A second tool that I'm going to give you, actually third if you count discipline, is you can alternate between 2 valuable skills. First you do, let's say, programming, and you program something, it's intellectual, logical thinking and all that. Then you get tired of it and you move to something more creative, like writing or drawing. And then after you get tired of this one, you get back to the first one, and then you switch and then you switch and then you switch. In this way you will be taking a break by doing something else that is very beneficial for you. Now when it comes to this step, different tools will help you. I already mentioned 3 of them. Subscribe to the channel if you need more. The important part is you have your own limit. Your limits are not fixed. You can expand your limits. You can learn to work 4 hours, 5 hours, 10, 12 hours a day. I've seen people do that and feel great and never burn out. But building to that state, building to that level takes time and effort. And you cannot jump from doing 15 minutes of work daily to doing 7, 10, 13 hours of work daily. This is not a good idea. You will burn out if you jump too far. Doing a little bit more every single day. Try staying focused on a specific goal. You can set some sort of a goal. I want to become the best bodybuilder. I want to become the best engineer, and follow this goal, but don't overdo it. You need time to refresh. You need time to rest. You need time with friends and family. You can play video games. You can go do sports. There's a lot of cool things you can do. It's not only about doing work. It's about finding the amount of work that works for you, for the speed you want to achieve your goal with, and that might be 1 hour a day, that might be 10. It's cool. And for some people it might be 15. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what other people think is right for them, it matters what you think is right for you. So focus on that. Otherwise, you can burn out. It sucks. 1 out of 10, won't recommend. And this brings us to the second part of doing more. And this is doing less. When it comes to doing more of something, you need to do less of something else. You have limited time in the day. Instead of trying to do everything at once, pick a few things. Saying no to everything else. I have a video on saying no. If you want to learn more, watch that one. Saying no to as many things as you can is important so you can focus on the few things that really matter for you at this point of your life. You can always change your mind and focus on something else later on, but when you're focusing on something that is important to you, focus on that thing and as few other things as you can. How many things is enough is up to you. Different people, different brains, different preferences, different optimal working environment. That brings us to the last level of success. The last level of success is applying leverage. When it comes to building leverage, the general idea is you want to become an idea multiplier. You want to take something, some idea, some action, invest 1 hour in it, multiply that 1 hour by 10, 100, 200, 5,000. For example, I as a principal architect in my company can spend 2 hours coding something, and those 2 hours can be a job that someone with 1 or 2 months in programming can take weeks to do. But I have this leverage. I have worked for 12 years to get here, and now I can give big chunks of value by just a little bit of work. And if I compound those bits of work, I can create a massive amount of value. And this is what everyone who is an expert at something can do. Now this brings us to the obvious question: how can you create more leverage? The first answer, which is obvious from my example, is become an expert at something. This is what doing more was all about. Being an expert at something, building a skill set that allows you to do more in one single specific domain. What else can you add to this? Sometimes some domains might feel like they don't add enough value ever. You will want to supplement the value from your own knowledge and your domain by other things. How can you do that? And that is by becoming an expert in everything. And no, this is not really possible. You can't really become an expert in everything. This is not realistic, but you can talk to experts that know everything. You can create a community around yourself, or you can join an existing community and talk to other smart people. You can exchange ideas. You can say, hey, I know this thing about business. And someone else can say, hey, I know this thing about art and design. And you can combine those two skills, those two high-level ideas, into a third new idea. So step 1 is become an expert at something, and step 2 is meet other experts and exchange knowledge. The more knowledge in your head, the more creative combinations you'll make, and the bigger multiplier you can potentially be. Now, this level is hard to achieve. You need to spend years in something to become a real expert. The moment you can start operating at this level, this is when you can make massive changes. This is where you have the potential to change the world. And this is the level I think everyone should strive for, because this is where we humans can really thrive. In a community, together creating the next steps for the rest of humanity. So in summary, no, it's not about just being disciplined. It's more complicated than that, and context matters, but I'll leave you to use your skills and your smart brain to figure out which step you're closest to and focus on that step. Once you achieve that step, focus on the next one and then the next one. If you need any help in the process, feel free to message me anywhere and I'll try to help out. I hope this helps, and see you in the next one.